Greetings, my fellow investors. Today we'll be doing some long-awaited Q&A. We're going to be taking a look at all of the October dividends I received. But first, since the portfolio has hit another 10K milestone, let's take a look at the progression of the portfolio over time. So starting off here, we can see when I first started investing about 3 years ago now, in the spring of 2018, during that time, I was really busy paying off my student loans and learning just the investing ropes. So all my money didn't go straight into investing. It went into paying off student loans and other debt. Luckily, I was able to pay that off last year, so now most of my money goes straight into my portfolio. And you can actually see that it took me about 15 months to even hit my first 10K in the spring of 2019. And then ever since then, each 10K mark has taken considerably less time, to half a year, to about a quarter, to now just over 1 month. Now, I think I certainly benefited from certain peaks and valleys. I don't expect this pace to continue. I also have made significant deposits more recently to be able to do options trading on Intel. I've been making pretty decent returns on that, and that's sort of an outlier. That probably won't be happening again. I certainly do expect the portfolio to keep growing and reaching new milestones and new highs. I'm hoping to get to $100,000 by the end of next year. Let's assume I had a 3.5% dividend yield. That would be $3,500 in passive dividend income, potentially for the rest of my life. So really just putting out this progression out here for you guys to see, and just maybe to get inspired by, and just showing you that when I first started doing this, the compounding and the growth, it was really slow. But once I started paying off debts, continuing a regular deposit schedule, researching and investing in great companies, the money really does start to work for you. Now, I know some people might look at these marks and they might reach them much quicker and they might reach them much slower, but it doesn't really do any benefit to compare ourselves to others. Unless you're Jeff Bezos, there's almost certainly going to be someone doing much better than you. What I try to focus on, though, is comparing myself to myself just a year ago. So every day I was getting a little bit better. Every day I was getting a little bit richer. Well, I think growing wealth is quite easy. What is super hard is getting you to hit that like button. These videos take a lot of time for me to put together. And all I ask is that you guys leave a like and a comment. That way YouTube will actually show my videos to more than 5 people for once. And also be sure to subscribe while you're at it. So let's do some quick Q&A and then we'll get into those juicy dividends. Our first question comes from Frank Mularsik from the great state of Ohio. He also runs a YouTube channel, so be sure to check him out. And he asked if I'm going to be getting into other types of investments such as real estate. So that's a great question, Frank. While I do definitely plan on owning a home in the next year or two, I'm not sure if being a landlord is for me. It just seems like there's just way too many legal liabilities, dealing with people, dealing with rodents, dealing with maintenance and repair. Real estate is a great investment and is the source of making more millionaires than anything else. But as of right now, I'd rather invest in just REITs. And once I own my personal home, I'll probably start doing more of a Fundrise or crowdfunding sort of real estate. Even hiring a property manager is something that I would stress about because I'm somebody who gets anxiety over anything. If I wonder if I left a stove or a light on in a house I don't even own about. So I can't even imagine how paranoid I'd be about what other people are doing and not having any control of that situation. And you know, I've been through college. I've witnessed people punch random holes into walls and throw giant parties with random people over and just totally trash the place. Frank, I'm sure you do this on the weekly in college, but anyways, I always try to treat stuff with respect, and I know not everybody follows those same principles in life. The house apartment that I might plan on buying, I might do a house hack or maybe even Airbnb. So maybe if that goes well, I will change my mind and maybe be a more hands-off landlord. In terms of other investments, I can see myself potentially collecting gold or silver coins. I actually used to coin collect a lot as a kid, and I think that's something I would definitely like to get back into eventually. These days, people really seem to be into collecting Bitcoin. Next question is from Ryan Giffen, who wonders why more people don't own Equinix. Equinix is a data center REIT. It's actually one of the best performing stocks in the 21st century. And despite this, I can guarantee you most people in this finance community have never heard of this stock, despite me making several videos about it. Perhaps it's its high price tag. We're talking about numbers, not necessarily the valuation. Maybe because it's so high, it scares off would-be investors, though its actual market cap isn't super big. I have seen more people talk about Digital Realty Trust, DLR, one of its competitors, but Equinix is definitely the premier company. Another reason could be because Equinix is a slow and steady winner. It's not just going to pop up 5% like a penny stock or a high growth stock. People want that instant gratification. They want those home run stocks. So I'm not sure why people don't want to invest in this company. Maybe it's because it gets you those big returns, but those big returns happen slowly. But hey, I think I found a golden goose and I have no problems getting great returns from it. So the last question comes from Anthony of the Malone Money Mindset, who asks, if I had to pick one stock to hold forever, what would it be? Well, Anthony, I think there's a lot of great companies out there that could meet this criteria. I'm sure Apple comes to everybody's mind, maybe Amazon, Google, Tesla even. But for me, I think it's Microsoft. This is a little biased here, but basically I just think about at work, almost everything I use, from the laptop, from the mouse, the keyboard, Internet Explorer, Skype, Teams, Microsoft Office products, the email, they're all Microsoft. And I know my company pays good money to get the top-notch software and products that Microsoft offers. Every month, every year, they're going to be continuing to write checks to Microsoft. And I know all around the globe, we got similar situations and scenarios. Plus, they have their whole cloud, and they also have Xbox and gaming, LinkedIn. I cannot see Microsoft going anywhere. I'm definitely going to hold on to them and continue to collect their rising dividends year after year. Speaking of dividends, let's get into the reason why you actually clicked this video, and that's to see how much money I made in passive dividend income in October 2020. So I actually had 13 different companies / ETFs pay me, starting here with FedEx of 65 cents. Then we have Coca-Cola here at $6.56, owned 16 shares. They pay out 41 cents per share for a total of $6.56. This is probably the last time I'll be able to do this on Robinhood, as I have moved on to Fidelity. So it's been nice being able to review these dividends on here, but format will definitely be changed for next month, in the month of November. Iron Mountain, another company I only own one share of at this point, just holding on to them, 62 cents total. Medical Properties Trust, this is one I will continue to be adding to. Still think they are at actually a relatively discounted price. They haven't exactly recovered as well as the rest of the market since the start of the year. So owned 46.67 shares. They pay out 27 cents per share for a total of $12.60. Moving on here, we have the insurance company Chubb at $2.34 from the 78 cents that they pay out per share, owned 3 shares for a total of $2.34. Then we have one of our favorite companies in this YouTube finance community, and that is Realty Income. I currently own 13 shares of them. They pay out a little under 23.5 cents for a total of $3.09. Monthly payer there. Then we got Store Capital, another great real estate investment trust company. Seems like I have a lot of REITs that pay in the month of October. So we have 25 shares. The stock price has recovered pretty well, but still might be at a little bit of a discount here. But as stuff continues to close, you wonder if it's going to go down more. But anyway, they paid 36 cents per share for a total of $9 on the dot. Then we have Medtronic at $4.64 from the 58 cents per share. This is a low-key dividend aristocrat. I usually don't hear people talking about this company as much, but it has quite the impressive track record. Moving on here, we have the monthly paying ETF. This is the Global X covered calls ETF here. So I owned 62 shares for a total of 21 cents per a share. That's a total of $13.61. So I'm hoping to get this to 100 shares by the end of the year. And then that would be basically $21, $22 every month passively earned from this great ETF here. And then as we continue to go here, we got NRZ, $1.80 for the 15 cents that they pay out per share. I remember when this used to be half a dollar when the stock price was like $10, so that was a ridiculous dividend yield. It looks like the dividend yield is slowly creeping up every single quarter. It's getting back to those 50-cent levels, but still down pretty big on this, but slowly getting back there with the dividends, and hopefully we'll go back into being into the green. So as we move on here, this is actually a new one. I have not received a dividend from PowerShares QQQ. This is basically tracks the NASDAQ and some other sectors, but mostly tech heavy here. So at the time, I only owned 1.3 shares for 38 cents a share for a total of 53 cents. Then moving on here, we have SPHD, another monthly payer. So I owned 6 shares for a little under 15 cents a share. That gives you a total of 88 cents. Then moving on here, this one is, no, it says November, but it's really an October dividend of $10.80 from JP Morgan Chase. So this certainly beats the low, basically next to nothing interest rate you would get from Chase if you just put their money into their bank vaults. But actually being invested in the company definitely pays off more. Stock price has went back up, but still relatively good starting dividend yield. Glad I held on to them through the thick and thin here. And this is actually the last payer for the month, which means in October of 2020, I made a whole $67.12 in totally passive dividend income. That is absolutely insane. This is a 318% increase from October of 2019 when I made just $16.03. It's almost crazy to even talk about this growth. Just absolutely blows my mind. Would not have thought I would be here so soon. And look, I know $67, I can still probably make more money going to the bathroom at work. But for us to make our financial freedom goals come true, it's going to be taking a lot of work, and it all starts somewhere. Next year at this time, I'll probably have over $100 in dividends every single month. That's money you don't need to work for. That's money that you don't need to lift a finger for because it's earning it on its own. That gets us much closer to our end goal, and what's great is that dividends from great companies, that really provides a floor, right? Like, we know since I made $67 this past month, that means basically I know there's really no way that I can get lower than $67 ever again. It's like once you reach a goal, it's almost impossible to go backwards unless you either sell or you don't pick great companies that keep paying dividends or have to cut them when times get tough. What's also nice is, while it might provide a floor, it doesn't work the other way around, meaning the ceiling for dividend increases is not limited. You could have great companies like Microsoft, Apple, just continue to raise their dividend year after year, and really that ceiling just remains wide open for us to get to our financial freedom goals much sooner. Just continues to show the power of dividends and how great they are. I know I've been moving a little bit more recently into growth stocks, but I think the solid foundation needs to be dividends, and that's the way I'm going to continue to do it, and definitely haven't lost sight of it. So I want to hear what you guys think. Is this dividend snowball compounding journey, is it going well for you guys as well? Let me know in the comments how much you guys are making in monthly dividend income. As always, these videos do take a lot of time to make. Be sure to show some support for the channel by hitting that like button and leaving a comment and subscribing if you haven't already done so, and I will catch you guys next time.